What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be talking about the turrets that are in the war mode for CoD WW2. With these turrets, a lot of people have been noticing it often takes a few extra bullets to get the kill, and today I wanted to go over exactly how much armor this gives you and how that all works. So for anybody that's played war, you've probably already noticed that it tends to take extra bullets to kill somebody when they're on a turret. Whether that be on a tank turret or just on a mounted turret on the ground, it usually takes a few extra shots to get the kill. Now the confusing part about this is there's no indication when this is happening that it's going to take you extra bullets to get the kill. All the hit markers are just regular hit markers as if you're shooting somebody that's just normally on the ground, and there's no little armor indicator or anything like that. Regardless of this, I did do a bunch of testing in all of the different war maps, and I tested all of the different turret types. And for all of them, at least for regular guns, not sniper rifles, we'll be covering the sniper rifles in a little bit, you get the same amount of health, which is basically double health, but technically what I suspect is going on is it's a 0.5 multiplier to your damage. So instead of actually getting double health, you deal half the amount of damage to players that are on those turrets, and what that means is it's going to generally take twice as many bullets to get a kill. Now the interesting and somewhat confusing thing about this is the actual armor plates on some of these mounted guns are essentially meaningless. They don't really mean anything. So on Operation Neptune, for instance, when you're storming the beaches on D-Day, on the left-hand side you have those turrets and they have the armor plate in front of them. Well, with a sniper rifle, you can be super accurate, shoot above the armor plate and hit the guy directly in the head. You're not shooting through any armor, and it's still going to take you 2 shots to kill. So realistically, that armor actually means nothing. It's the exact same on the turrets on the right-hand side where they have full armor plating that completely covers their body. It's still going to take you 2 shots to kill, even if you shoot perfectly through that little crack. So the guns themselves don't have armor on them, it just makes it so your multipliers when you're mounted onto those turrets cut the bullet damage that you receive in half. Now, of course, the first thing I tested here was FMJ. Does FMJ counteract this at all and make it so you now deal full damage? Turns out it has no impact whatsoever. On any one of these turrets, like I said, even on Operation Neptune on the right-hand side when you're storming the beaches, where they have that full armor plating covering their body, FMJ has no impact whatsoever in your ability to kill those players. And I find this to be a little bit unfortunate. I do understand why players that are mounted on those turrets are going to be taking less damage. You want to actually encourage them to use that instead of just sniping all the time. And if you didn't get that reduced damage to you, then there'd be no reason to sit on a mounted turret completely stationary and just a sitting duck to take a sniper shot. I can understand why they did that, but I was hoping that FMJ would counter this, at least to some extent. And it turns out it has no impact whatsoever. Now, I did mention that sniper rifles are a little bit different than the other guns in this game. This only applies to certain turret types. The turret types that I've already mentioned on Operation Neptune when you're on the beaches, so the ones on the left and the right-hand side, with both of those, doesn't matter which sniper rifle you're using, it's going to take you 2 shots to get a kill, even if you're shooting around the gun and hitting them perfectly in the head, or shooting perfectly through that little gap on the ones on the right side. It's always going to be 2 shots to kill if they're mounted on that turret with that sniper rifle. An interesting little tip I have for you guys with this is even the carabin will take only 2 shots to kill. So when there's people mounted on the turrets, the carabin is actually your best bet out of all the sniper rifles, because you can kind of just go pop, pop, and the guy's dead, instead of firing a shot, rechambering, and then firing another shot. So quick little tip there for you guys on Operation Neptune. But aside from those 2 particular turrets, every other turret in war, so we're talking mounted on tanks, as well as the ones that you have to build for yourself, with these turrets, you still get that 0.5 damage multiplier with all of the regular guns in the game. So if you're using an STG, for instance, it's now going to take 7 shots to kill rather than 4 shots to kill. I know it's not actually double the amount of bullets, but when you do the math on that, it is a 0.5 multiplier. But with any regular gun, it's going to take you generally about twice as many bullets to get a kill. But with sniper rifles, it seems that any of the one-shot sniper rifles are still going to be a one-shot kill. Even if you manage to hit them in the arm or the torso or something, you don't have to like pick off their head or anything. Basically, if you shoot them in the body with the Lee Enfield, the M1903 Springfield, as well as the Kar 98, it's going to be a one-shot kill on those. The only exceptions to that are the turrets on the beaches of Operation Neptune. So just keep that in mind. On Operation Neptune, your best bet if you are trying to counter-snipe and take out the people on the turrets is going to be the carabin. And don't worry about even popping on FMJ with that. It doesn't have any effect. It's going to be 2 shots with or without FMJ, and you can just pop those guys out of those turrets like it's nothing. Now, just to be crystal clear here before we wrap up this video, everything I've mentioned so far only applies to the war game mode. The turrets that are in regular modes, like on Ardennes Forest for instance, they have no impact whatsoever on health or damage multipliers. You still take the exact same number of shots to kill on those turrets. So for those of you guys that were worried that's going to affect like competitive play or anything, don't worry. In regular modes, the turrets are just like they've always been. You don't get any sort of damage reduction or armor or anything along those lines. But overall, I hope the tips I shared today will help you guys when dealing with the war game mode and people that are on turrets. I hope it at least helped you guys gain a bit of a better understanding for how these turrets work. One thing that I would like to see from Sledgehammer in this area is a separate hit marker that has like a little armor symbol next to it when you're shooting somebody that's on a turret. Just a little indicator that's telling you like, hey, you're gonna need to shoot this guy a little bit more to get that kill. He doesn't have the same amount of health as every other player out there. But at least for you guys that have seen this video now, you don't really have to worry about that too much because you should be understanding exactly how these turrets work. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.